Ma'am, you're on mute.
Sorry, Nana, from that time you didn't inform me. I am speaking from that time. It was a mute from the beginning where I have started oligopoly.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's a lot of disturbance. You would have informed me that I have muted my mic. I was shouting.
I thought I thought it was from our side, ma'am.
Yeah, Sandeep called and I have few disturbances of the calls. So now it's fine. So oligopoly, Mali repetition. Oligopoly is a situation where we have few firms who are competing, and for what do these firms compete is to gain number one position and name as a market leader. Each and every firm want to grab the consumers of the others, and here there is a lot of interdependence. There is a price rigidity, and if one firm increases the price, the other does not follow the suit, and if one firm decreases the price, the others follow the suit. There's a lot of interdependence in the case of strategies that are being followed by one company will definitely given the counter strategies by the other participants in the market. And here we normally say that a few cats fighting in a bag is what we say in the case of oligopoly when it exists in the market. And the another important point here is there is a cutthroat competition. The competition will go to an extent of anything, like we have even seen the cases of unfair trade practices where few companies want to defame the other companies in order to gain the maximum market share. Like we have come across unfair trade practices where the companies used to sue the other company in order to defame the company and make the sales decrease of the rival companies and increase their own sales. So this is normally happens in the oligopoly where there is a cutthroat competition. And earlier, I used to give the examples of cool drink industry, but now there is no more such. Why? Because there is a lot of changes that has happened where Coca-Cola have been named as the highest value trademarks as $70 billion. So maximum market share is Coca-Cola, and the remaining is captured by PepsiCo. So we assume that the cool drink industry will come under duopoly and not oligopoly. The scenario have changed. And the other example is automobile industry. Automobile industry, as I said, the study says that 46% is captured by Maruti Suzuki, isn't it? Then 16% by Hyundai and Kia, and the other is Mahindra and Tata. So like this, the percentage of market share was shared by each and every player in the oligopoly, and everyone want to grab the consumers and want to attain maximum share in the market. Telephone services is other example of oligopoly. And the next important point is characteristics of oligopoly. Interdependence in decision making is the first characteristic of oligopoly. As I said, there is a lot of interdependence. But in the case of monopoly, there is no interdependence, isn't it? Or even in the case of perfect competition, the market decides the price based on the prevailing prices, and the seller will accept the price, isn't it? In monopoly, the seller decides the price, so therefore there is no lot of interdependency, or there is no lot of competition that do happen in the case of monopoly. Now coming to the interdependence, what do you mean by interdependence? It's nothing but as each and every products are homogeneous or close substitutes, the seller's strategies in market will definitely have impact on the other sellers. So you know what do you mean by close substitutes? You know what do you mean by close substitutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what do you mean by it?
We can use instead of this or that.
This or that. Very good. Close substitutes and this or that. So here we sell close substitutes or homogeneous products So therefore, there is a lot of interdependency in the decision making. Now coming to the next one, importance of advertising and selling cost. So here, the second important feature of oligopoly is each and every seller try to grab the consumers by advertising the product. So here it is not price competition, but it is non-price competition. Why? Because he can't do any impact on the price. If he increase the price, the others will not, and if he decrease, the other will also decrease. As there is lot of interdependence, what is the loophole that these oligopolists have? It's nothing but by the way of advertising, they try to reach the consumers and try to take the consumers' decision as their product of purchasing. So, and what sort of advertising will they give? The advertising of the product is nothing but if you use this product, this is what, let us take the example of an automobile or a car. They may highlight the concept of mileage, they may highlight the concept of smoothness or whatever is what the concept where they try to want to grab the consumers, or they may highlight regarding the sales service centers, or they may highlight regarding after sales services, or they may highlight regarding the warranty and guarantee period. Like that, importance of advertising and selling cost plays a very important role in oligopoly. But such is not there in which type of market structure, Nana? No importance of advertising in
Monopoly.
monopoly?
Competition.
Perfect competition.
Competition, isn't
As
it?
price is decided.
Yeah, as price is decided and the product is homogeneous. So what happens there? There is no importance of advertising it. As one of the seller, you will sell the product. That's it. There is no distinction. But in the case of oligopoly, advertising plays a very important role. Why? Because price ni వాళ్ళు ఏం చేయలేరు, they can't touch, as there is a rigidity in price. There is price rigidity in oligopoly. ఎందుకంటే most of the buyers have the decision of purchase based on the price, and if you reduce, అందరు కూడా reduce చేస్తారు. There is no impact, isn't it? So what is the way that they try to reach the consumers? It's nothing but the advertising and selling cost. And they try to highlight the facilities they provide, the after sale services they provide, or the guarantee or the warranty or the spare parts or the features, free features that they provide. All such would be highlighted in the advertisement in order to grab more and more consumers and sustain as a market leader. So this is what the second point, the importance of advertising and selling cost. Then the next important point is indeterminate demand curve. So in the case of monopoly, what is the demand curve? The AR curve is a demand curve, that is downward sloping curve. If you want to increase the sales, he should reduce the price. So from left to right is what downward sloping curve, the demand curve of a monopolist. Because it's a single service provider. Like let us take the example of railways. If he want more and more consumers, what he'll do, he'll give discounts and offers so that he can increase his sales. As all the consumers who want to commute in train should come to him only. So if you want to increase, we have to reduce so that the people who have the option to go on road or the option to go on other ways of transport will come to railways. So therefore, there we have determinant demand curve, or even in perfect competition, it is a straight line, isn't it? But in the case of in the case of oligopoly, the demand curve is indefinite. And why? Because there is lot of interdependency, price rigidity, and the concept of increasing the prices if one increase, and if the concept of decreasing the prices if the one decrease, will definitely have impact on demand curve. So therefore, in oligopoly, always remember there is an indefinite demand curve, and there would be always a kink, and a sharp curve turn, because in the prevailing prices there would be a kink because there is lot of interdependency and few sellers, and anything more than two constitutes oligopoly. If there are two, we say it as duopoly. Anything more than two, we constitute it as oligopoly. Few sellers. Okay. Now coming to the next one, compete or combine, or competition and combine. So here in oligopoly, as there is a tough competition, if you don't have the capacity or capability to compete with your competitors, what do the companies do? They combine. Like how Uber Eats have taken over by Zomato. Like this, The concept of compete or combine is what there in oligopoly. Compete is nothing but if you have the capacity to fight with your competitors and try to stand first as your market leader, and you want to grab all the consumers. But if you don't have such capacity, don't have the capacity to survive with the competitors, you combine with your other participants in the oligopoly. As the competition is very dangerous and leads to rivalry also is what we hear in the case of oligopoly. As the competitors become fierce, violent, cruel, or even the competition leads to rivalry. Definitely there would be rivalry, and always each firm would be bothered and more interested with what's happening in the other companies rather than worried about their sales. So this do happen. The another important feature is compete or combine. Now coming to the next one, sixth one, products may be identical or differentiated. So identical refer to same or differentiated or close substitutes. So if it is more differentiated and unique, it comes under monopolistic competition. But differentiated may be the body, the size, or like for example, the offers that are there in Airtel are different with that of offers that are given in Jio, isn't it? Or the packages or the schemes or whatever we have is totally different. So therefore we say it as differentiated or but close substitutes, isn't it? So either you use Jio or either you use Airtel, we have the same purpose, but there might be small changes. So therefore we say products may be identical or differentiated. The last point is group behavior. Why we say it as group behavior? Because there is a lot of interdependence, and here each one is bothered about what's happening with the others and what are the strategies that are going on each and every company. So that would be very difficult for the other companies to see what are the strategies and what are the counter strategies that we need to apply with the decisions taken by the one company. So this is known as group behavior. The 7 features in the case of oligopoly. Now coming to the price and output determination. So there is no definite theory of price and output determination in oligopoly, as there is a lot of interdependence and there is an indefinite demand curve. But there is a small concept given by Sweezy and Harvard. Sweezy and Harvard theory of kink demand curve. So he says that always as there is a lot of interdependency and indefinite demand curve, there would be a kink in the prevailing prices at P. This is an assumption that at prevailing prices P, all the firms in the oligopoly will face a kink. What do you mean by a kink? Kink is nothing but a turning point where a point above the kink is elastic and point below the kink is inelastic. What do you mean by elastic and inelastic? This we have done in unit 2. What do you mean by elasticity? Elasticity is nothing but responsiveness of quantity demanded due to change in price or any other determinant of demand, isn't it? So therefore, if there is a threat from other companies to reduce the price, so definitely there would be reduction in price. If one company increases, definitely there would be a indefinite demand curve. So the price and output determination, the first point, what you will say, there is no definite demand curve as there is lot of interdependency. The second important curve, the assumption in price and output determination oligopoly is the firm, a firm faces kink at point P in prevailing prices is what the second important thing. The third important thing is, as per the assumption given by the theory of Sweezy, he says that point above it is elastic and point below it, the demand is inelastic at OM quantity at OP price. So this is why, because decision taken by one firm will definitely have impact on the other, and the another 2 points is if one increase, the other doesn't increase. If one decrease, the others also decrease. So therefore we say it as lot of interdependency in the case of oligopoly. So this is what the diagram that you need to write, and write that these following points. So this is what. So each oligopolist believe that if he lowers the price below the prevailing level, its competitors will also follow him and will accordingly lower the prices. Is it clear, Nana? So this is all about oligopoly, features of oligopoly, kink demand curve theory given by Sweezy and Howard. These are the three things that you have to remember in the case of exam point of view. And as I said, perfect competition is important in exam point of view. And the next important thing is monopoly is the second thing. And what are the things that we have in monopoly? In monopoly, you have definition, features or characteristics, causes, price and output determination, and price discrimination. Isn't it? Price discrimination is what we have in monopoly. In perfect competition, features, price and output determination. That's it. So these are all about market structures. Now, this next important thing is duopoly. Duopoly is not that important, but just take down the definition in your books. And all of you open your books. Open your MEFA book. Just write down. I didn't mention here, but in one of the section of exam, they've asked. So these are the old notes. I just want you to take down the definition and example of duopoly. Are you ready? Shall I start, Nana?
Yes, ma'am.
Definition of duopoly. A duopoly is a situation where two companies together own all or approximately 70 to 80% of the market, who own all or 70 to 80% of the market for the given product or a service. A duopoly can be given as an example of most basic form of oligopoly. A duopoly can be given an example of most basic form of oligopoly. So example. Coke versus Pepsi, Visa card versus MasterCard, Swiggy versus Zomato, Uber versus Ola, and so on. So, who are going to take duopoly in your class, Nana? Are there any students who are interested to take?
Yes, ma'am. Mahesh, Pranav, and Sudhindra.
They are going to give it on Monday.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And if you want anything, you can ask me regarding the presentation or the examples. Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is what about the market structures, Nana. And coming to the last concept, monopolistic competition. Write down monopolistic competition. When this was not highlighted, but let us be prepared of even this. Write down the side heading, monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition characterizes an industry in which many firms offer products or services that are similar but are not perfect substitutes which are identified or unique, which are identified or differentiated, the unique feature or facility that it has. The unique feature or facility that it has. Example, restaurants, Starbucks, clothing, etc. So this is about monopolistic competition. So product differentiation is the main feature, which are unique and differentiated with that of the other based on the feature or facility that it has. So this is about monopolistic competition. Now let's move on to the next concept. I think we still have 5 minutes, isn't it? It's 2:35. So let's move on. Write down the side heading, pricing. No, all of you. Pricing and methods of pricing. This is the 4th concept that we have in Unit 3. And we have break-even analysis problems, the last concept in Unit 3. So by Wednesday, we plan out to finish off this Unit 3. Did you get any information regarding the college from your side?
No, ma'am.
No. As of online only, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So now pricing is what the next concept that we have in Unit 3. So are you sure with the market structures? Done with the market structures. Unit 3 first is production analysis. Part B is cost. Part C is market structures. And part D is pricing. Pricing and methods of pricing and product life cycle based pricing. So these are the concepts that we have under pricing. So here 2 important questions can be accepted from this. What do you mean by pricing? What are the various techniques or methods of pricing is the first question. Second one is differentiate between methods of pricing based on product life cycle. So based on the product life cycle, what are the various strategies that are applied in pricing is what the second expected question. So these are the 2 that we have in pricing. Let's start with the concept of pricing. What do you mean by pricing? Pricing is nothing but monetary value which is expressed as a selling price, isn't it? Which is an important decision taken by the management. Why we say it as important decision? As more than 50% of the consumers take the purchase decision based on the price. So what should be the price of the product is a tedious task for the management to decide, so that it should also think about, especially in oligopoly, it would be in more and more tedious task. In the case of other market structures, it doesn't play much important role, but in the case of oligopoly and monopolistic competition, price plays a very important role. So therefore, pricing above the market level or pricing above the competition level is an end danger. Why?
Consumer will go for the less price.
Very good. The consumer don't prefer your product, will go shift over to the other product. But pricing below the competition or pricing below the market level is also endangered, where the company can't cover its total cost, isn't it? What do you mean by total cost? Total
Capital
cost?
invested.
Yeah,
Production.
total cost production cost or total cost, that is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost, isn't it? Fixed cost will occur whatever may be your level of production, variable cost varies with the level of production. Example of variable cost?
Labor,
Very good. Labor, wages paid to labor, raw material cost. Fixed cost examples?
rent on the land,
Yeah, rent, salaries to the employees, insurance are the examples of fixed cost. So here, total cost cannot be covered. Normally, what would be the concept of pricing? Covering all possible costs, including transportation, installation, packaging, everything, plus a prescribed percentage of profit. So that's how they normally decide the price, isn't it? So what if it doesn't cover the cost itself? Thinking about the profits is not the criteria, isn't it? So therefore, it's very important for the consumers to know, for the producer to decide, or the manufacturer or the management to decide what might be the price. So what suits, which method suits the product that you manufacture, which method suits the service that you render, plays a very important role. And this is what a very, very important and the tedious task that is done by the management. Each and every minute issue would be considered while deciding the price of a particular product. So therefore, we say that pricing utmost take will be taken while deciding the price of a product, because it affects the entire business of a particular firm. So different companies follow different pricing methods. The following are the important methods of pricing. Methods of pricing, we will go with in the next class. I'll stop here. Just write down the side headings. Methods of pricing or techniques of pricing. Okay. So totally there are 16 methods of pricing. We'll start in the next class. I'll just finish off all the methods in one class on Wednesday, and break and explain what are the various methods. Okay. So shall we start with the presentation?